Welcome back to Grit Gym. Today we have a guest. We come at you every weekday at 12:30, and the purpose is to inspire the experience that you want to have, that you want to live, that you want to be a part of in this life. And today we have Zoarc Fitness,
Zoarc. Yep.
Zoarc.
Yep.
I always call it Zoarc. Zoarc sounds like. You probably never seen Mork and Mindy, but it's like this Robin Williams show from way back in the day. I'm a big Robin Williams fan, so for me, like, I don't know, like basically every show that he's ever done, I've probably watched. But
yeah.
So Connor has a desire in the world to spread fitness in a good way, and to I think from my standpoint, from what little I know about the Zoarc brand, is that he wants to spread fitness in terms of health, and he's very in line with kind of how we view things at Grit Gym, and that it has to be fairly difficult to be able to get the results that you want to have in your life. So he's going to talk a little bit about kind of his outlook, his message. We're going to go back and forth, just getting a nice discussion about it. Please hit the like button. We see your faces go across the screen. It's pretty cool. And if you have the time, which I know you do, hit the share button and get in the comment section so that we can make this as interactive as possible. It makes it a lot more fun for us and hopefully a lot more fun for you. But you want to introduce yourself? Tell them a little bit about Zoarc.
Yeah. So I'm Connor Weitz, founder of Zoarc, and so what Zoarc is a brand with a mission, like Adam said, to promote health, fitness, wellness, and overall positivity. So we have an apparel line that we're starting to push right now. So if you can see, we've got the shirts here, and we've got some hats as well, and you can probably can see what I'm wearing as well. But so we've got that going, and so if you follow us on Instagram or social media or anything like that, you'll see that a big thing that we're all about is the positive messages, spreading that through fitness and through movement.
That's awesome. So what started your, not necessarily Zoarc, but what started your go with exercise?
Yeah, so originally as a kid, I didn't really know much at all about health, fitness, nutrition, anything like that. I had an idea, but I was going to eat at Subway, and I thought that it was good. Sorry Subway, but yeah.
No, Subway sucks, man. Like, it sucks. They convinced the world that an entire loaf of bread with a bunch of mayonnaise draped over the top and some old nasty ingredients is somehow healthy.
Yeah.
Good way to go, Jared.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, as a kid, I struggled with health. Just as a kid, I was kind of overweight.
Were you a chubby kid?
I was a chubby kid. I was
kind of on the chubby side.
Yeah. I wasn't like extremely. I wouldn't say I was like big and fat, but I was chubby because I was active all the time. I was playing sports, but I wasn't getting what I wanted out of the sports I was playing. And then as I got to high school,
what do you mean by that? Like, what do you like? You weren't performing at your peak, or?
I felt that I was performing in terms of skill, but in terms of athleticism, I didn't have it.
How do you define that?
So skill.
The difference between the two.
So the difference between skill and athleticism. Skill is something that you can develop through practice. So things like dribbling a basketball.
I couldn't agree more on that. By the way, that's
things like that. I was able to develop that very well. I could handle a basketball and I could shoot a basketball, but I wasn't athletic. I couldn't run. I couldn't jump and do those sorts of things very well until I started to get that dialed in, which was kind of after my high school athletic career kind of ended anyway.
Oh, really?
Is that
were you a late bloomer in that? But because I was.
Yeah.
It wasn't until my senior year of college that all of a sudden it was just like, wait, I'm fast. Wait, I can jump. Wait, I was always pretty decent, but it wasn't until afterwards it was just like, holy shit, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
And that's what you found too.
Yeah. I knew that if I worked really hard at something, I would get good at it, but I thought that I was just like slow naturally. I just thought I was slow, not powerful. If I went out and I just ran every single day and got good at that, I was like, okay, I know that through practice I'm going to get better at this, but I didn't necessarily know through eating and training the different pieces that go into that with sleep. Throughout high school, I had quote unquote insomnia. I was sleeping 3-4 hours a night for whatever reason. Just in bed, like banging my head off the wall, like, why can't I sleep at night?
That sounds familiar.
And it wasn't really until I really dove deep into health and nutrition and wellness and just taking care of myself that I really figured out, okay, I can actually feel really good and I can be a great athlete and I can just perform very well on all levels. And that's what really got me into that. And then from there, I just went to school for health and human physiology, studied that, got my degree in that as well, and that's really kind of what started everything.
Sure, yeah. I think it's kind of interesting. So almost all athletes have some fairly similar stuff. So for one, most athletes are usually fairly obsessive people, obsessed with skill, but also the health and the performance side of things coincided and were such a mesh for Connor. They were such a mesh for me. If he wasn't sleeping, he wasn't getting him enough recovery to actually accumulate the stimulus from his exercise, from his obsessive desire to be a better athlete, right? So he had to have the recovery portion. It also didn't really, it really took off for him when he started eating better. He was already having the exercise. He was, and it sounds like mindset became a thing in there too, where it was like there was a limiting belief in there somewhere where he thought he was slow, which was not accurate whatsoever. But if you believe that thing, you're going to validate it in your own life. You're going to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm slow, so I'm going to validate it. It's like saying I'm a slow learner. Well, then you're going to think you're stupid. Nobody's a slow learner. It's stupid. It's a silly thing. But so you studied all this stuff, you made all these changes, and then is it kind of one of those you wish you had all this information back then, so you're trying to give it back to the people who don't, or is it like what's the inspiration?
It is one of those things. Yeah. I wish that I had someone. And I'm only 24 years old, so obviously I have a long way to go and a lot to learn. But
not guaranteed, man. I mean,
I have a lot to learn.
Yeah, we all have a lot to learn.
We all have a lot to learn.
Yeah.
So no, I don't necessarily know everything, but what I do know now, I wish I could have known back then, so I could have improved my health and wellness. But maybe I don't think such a passion would have stemmed if I hadn't found out, man, I've been doing this wrong for so long, and then
I'm really glad you said that too. Yeah,
do it right. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the things in our just society in general, it's almost like we want to get in the way of the obstacle that people have. But the obstacle is the great thing. If there wasn't the obstacle, what would make it worth it? Exactly. If there wasn't an obstacle to having a six pack and to eating better and to performing really well, then it wouldn't be this great, amazing. There would be no reward because there was no obstacle.
Right. Yeah. Like they say, if it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
Or if it was the information was a problem. We have the information at our fingertips. Now it's
literally at your fingertip.
Right.
You have almost every known answer that we know of in the universe.
Right.
Fingertips.
It's there.
Use it to watch cat videos.
And whether we have good information or bad, then we have to have that ability to figure that out.
Yeah.
And get the information from the right people, and then take that information and do with it what's necessary to get better.
Yeah, that's it's the good and bad thing is a new thing. I've probably been juggling this around for maybe a year or two now, but I'm to the point now where I don't even know if there is necessarily a good or a bad, because there's different applications for at different times, and I don't know if I really want to put a title on either one, but is it accurate? Is it appropriate? Is it positively progressing them forward? That kind of thing. Are we judging this based on our own truth, or are we judging this based on the objective reality? I don't know. Good and bad. I don't even know where I'm going with this, but at the same time, it's just a very interesting question.
Right. Yeah. I completely agree. And nowadays in the world, everything is. It seems like it's go competition. That makes it a lot harder for people to get these things dialed in. People are saying, "Oh, I don't have time for proper nutrition. I don't have time to sleep." Well, if your sleep habits and your nutrition's off, you're gonna have time for. It's not.
If you're only sleeping for 2 hours a night, you got a lot of time.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. You're just not prioritizing things very well, and it's killing you in the process.
Yeah, it's all just about priorities, setting those priorities, knowing what's most important to you, and then taking the steps to improve those things.
One of the things that I like to say is the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. Like that saying, I would just like to rip it out of people's minds, because the devil you know is killing you, but you're willing to stick it out with them.
Right.
Why do that? There's so much mindset stuff going into into fitness and nutrition and recovery, like if you can't relax at the end of the night, you're not going to sleep.
Exactly.
And if you can't get focused and discipline yourself to make better choices, then you're not going to eat well. You're going to eat Hot Pockets and Subway, right?
You're right.
I hate on Hot Pockets all the time.
Hey, I don't eat Hot Pockets, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, have you ever seen the Jim Gaffigan, the Hot
The
Pockets?
Hot Pockets, yeah.
Yeah, like if you don't have the guts to walk into a gym, you're probably not gonna exercise.
Right.
You know, walking around the block is a good start, but it's not the finish line. Like
Exactly.
you want strength, you want power, you want speed, you want endurance, you want a full encompassing program if you're going to talk about like exercise as a whole, and that goes for performance or for just the general population wanting to live their life their way. But,
Yeah.
so what happened with Zoarc? Sorry,
Yeah.
man. I keep calling
no
it Zoarc.
worries, no worries.
So tell me what's it mean?
Yeah, so Zoarc, it means maintaining life. It stems from Greek origin.
Nice.
And
Nice.
that really spoke to me.
That's how Nike started. Nike is the Greek goddess of victory.
Is it?
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
know
what
that.
Nike stands for, and the swoosh is actually her symbol.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a girl. It's a goddess. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah.
I never knew that. That's really cool, actually, to realize that after the fact.
So
that-
you might be sitting on the next Nike. Man. I hope you
I
are
hope
the next
so, man.
Nike.
I
And
hope
I'm gonna
so.
be like, hey, I interviewed that thing.
I sure hope so, man. I sure hope so. So yeah, the name really spoke to me, what it meant, how it looked, how it sounded, everything that went into it. So I just ran across it and I thought, man, that's it.
That's it.
That's
That's like what it was when grit popped into my mind, because I was driving around for weeks thinking about what am I going to call this thing? What am I going to call this thing? And I had started one other business before this that was awful. It was complete. It just didn't. It failed miserably. And I called that one. It was the dumbest name. But I was like, what am I going to call this? And I wanted a name that meant tough, it meant relentless, it meant courage, it meant all these things. I was like, it has to be hard. And I was like, it's got to be gritty, it's got to be nasty, it's got to be hard. And I was like, grit. I'm going to call it grit. And it was just like you just said. It was just like, bam, that's the name.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome how that just speaks to you.
Is it Zoarc that this is what I'm going to do, or is it the maintaining life part that was like, yeah, that's the...
It's the maintaining life part.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I figured.
Yep. That's for sure it. Because that's really where my passion lies, is in health, wellness, and just educating myself so that I can help others improve in those aspects as well.
Yeah. I definitely think this is a small thing that you can do, but maybe it has big ramifications. But your surroundings are gonna, on some level, influence because it's what's going into your mind, right? So if you have your goals written on a wall, or if you're rewriting your goals every day like we do in the One Life Planner, or you have it written across your chest, something that reminds you of what you're going for, or that keeps you accountable, like that's a good thing. So like having this written on your body, basically, not necessarily a tattoo. I mean, if you want to get a Zoarc tattoo, are you going to stop anybody?
No.
I would need it. They were
I might
a
actually
great gym on their ass, I'd be like, go for it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly, man. Hey.
Maybe not on the butt. People aren't going to see it very often. Forehead. You want to tattoo grit gym on your cheekbone?
That's some good advertising, man.
Oh God.
So.
Yeah. But yeah, so maintaining life.
Yep, that's what it's all about, and just maintaining that positive mindset, just like what you're about, like setting those goals, taking the steps to improve every single day.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't know if you've read the book Slight Edge.
Yeah.
So that's a book that really, I had been kind of doing over time. But then after I read that book, I really thought, okay, this is something that I can put into other people's hands and say, hey, you should go read this book because it's taking the steps. Yes, and I know, Iowa football is very big on that book as well. Just improving, taking those steps every single day, those small little changes, and whether it's improving your sleep, your nutrition, your training, just a small little thing each and every day makes a big difference. And just having that, being able to focus in and create a mindset that will allow you to take advantage of that idea, I think is what it's all about.
Yeah, like you get, on any level, if you just have even 1% of an edge over your opponent or over anything that you have going on, it's going to completely propel you forward. If you're 1% low or 1% high, the margins are exponential when you look at it on a graph. Like if you're 1% improvement every day, forget what it comes out to at the end of the year. Where versus 1% where you're unimproving.
Yeah.
What is that? De-improving.
Yeah.
It's marginal as how much you'll actually go down, but it's insane how much you go up. I think it's in that book where they talk about the North Pole. Is it the North Pole or the South Pole? Anyway, there's these explorers that were exploring the North Pole or the South Pole. I don't remember which one, but the first ones to get there, there was two different guys that were going for the same thing, and they left at the same time. And one had a crew, and he said, we're only going to march when it's good weather, but we're going to march as far as we possibly can. We have to get at least 20 miles in the day with good weather. And the other guy said, we're going to march every single day no matter what. And that's what they did. The interesting thing about it was the guy who said, I'm going to march every single day, no matter what the weather is, they made it to the pole first. And the other guy got there, saw the flag, turns around or whatever the story is. And interesting thing about it is the guy who said, we're going to walk, we're going to march every single day, not one person in his entire crew died. Every single one of the other guys died.
It's a great story.
But that's just, he was just decided. It was just like that was his edge. It was like, we're going to walk every single day. We're going to improve our position. Even if it's 2 feet, we're going to improve our position every day.
Yep, and that's a big thing that a lot of people, and myself, needed to realize that making a decision, once you make a decision and you go all in on it, and you say, I'm going to do this every single day, that is what propels more success than kind of sitting on, I don't know if you follow Gary Vee at all.
Yeah,
but he says
like Gary Vee.
He's you can't be half pregnant, right?
No.
So you can't be half in on this, half in on this. You need to find what it is that you want to do, decide, and then go.
Never half-ass anything, only whole-ass one. Never half-ass 2 things, only whole-ass 1 thing.
Yeah, if you chase
that's
two,
a Ron Swanson quote.
Yeah, right. And then
Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
I love that show.
Going along with that too, another quote that I like is if you're chasing after 2 rabbits, they're both going to get away.
Yeah.
Right? So find the rabbit you want to chase and chase it.
Right.
Chase
I completely agree. But that everyday thing, I think if it's important, you do it every day.
Yeah.
I talk with people that they're like, how many days do I need to do this to be successful? I'm like, why do you even ask that question?
Right.
Like, you gotta do that. I don't care if you showed up for 5 minutes and left. I don't care if you came in and all you did was foam roll and you left, or all you did was do a couple stretches and you left. Hey, you showed up, you did something. We made progress on some level. Whether it's we did a whole workout or we just did half of it. You did something. You have to do something to propel yourself forward every day, no matter what. We actually have a girl that she's about to run 26 miles. She's about to run 6 marathons in 6 days.
Wow. She'll
start on the 26 and she'll finish, but she's going to do the same thing. She's going to have to put 1 foot in front of the other. She's tough too. Yeah. She'll make it.
That is very impressive.
Yeah,
that'd be very impressive.
She's a boss. She's going to do great. What does it say? What do we got? What are you guys saying? Support me, no half hog. Yeah. Actually, that's kind of crazy because her sister's the one who just commented on it. Video.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's really cool.
So hello, Sammy. But yeah, I totally think if you're gonna do something, if something is important, you're gonna do it every single day. You're in a relationship and you want your relationship to grow and improve. You got to work on that thing every single day. You're not like the guy who, or the wife who says, you never say that you love me anymore. And he goes, well, I told you on the day we got married, and nothing, I'll tell you when it changes. No, you gotta say it every single day. You gotta eat well you gotta be pushing towards better nutrition every day. You gotta be pushing towards better exercise every day. You gotta be progressively moving forward in your life. You make just little improvements every day. It makes a huge, drastic difference.
Yep. So what it's all about is that progression. Just over time, taking those small steps, and it's something that we with Zoarc, that's something that we really want to promote. Is just taking those minor things, like we talk about kind of building a wall, right? You can't build the wall in a day, right? Because this is Will Smith talks about this.
Oh yeah, right.
He talks about the wall. His dad, it was actually a physical
story.
Wall that he had to build. His dad made him build, but he talks about if you lay a perfect brick every single day, and you just lay brick after brick after brick, you can think about it as days. every single day you just lay that perfect brick, then soon you're going to have a wall.
Yeah.
Right? You can't think about, oh man, tomorrow I want to reach all these goals, because it just doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
You got to think about it in those small pieces, putting out what you think, obviously perfection doesn't exist, but putting out what you think is the best product every single day is what's going to lead to that great achievement later on down the road.
Yeah. There's these lessons in everything too. I was watching this thing on Kung Fu the other day, which I thought was like very outside of I like to study things that are like way outside of like what I'm actually interested in. So I have like no interest in Kung Fu, but some of the language that they were stripping down was really interesting. They were like, he was asking people, what do you think Kung Fu is? People were like, a fighting style, it's a martial art, and the guy was like, no, it's, or he got to a point where he was like, what it actually is, he said, I forget how he put it, but it was like, growing a skill to, like becoming a master of a certain skill through massive amounts of hard work.
Yep.
And I really liked it a lot. But like, there's tracks in all of this kind of stuff, like the wisdom of the Greeks and like the Greek god stuff.
Yep.
I love that stuff. I think like that's one of those things I can study really easily. Like, Kung Fu stuff, I'm like, this is boring. I don't get what I'm saying. But like Greek mythology, Have you looked at the story of Milo?
No.
I really like the story of Milo. Milo was the guy who he picked up a calf every day. That's how he got so strong. And then he could tear a tree stump in half. But then he got like the story that gets popularized though is the one that he gets his hands stuck in the tree stump and wolves eat him. It's like, why does that one get popularized? I mean, he's this cool ass dude that can lift up the whole bowl,
Yeah, that story's awesome. Yeah, and just like he's picking up the calf as a kid, right? And then he's just picking it up
because
every
it
single
grows.
day, carrying it, and
because it grows for you non-farm kids, a young calf will grow about like somewhere between 3 and 5 pounds in a day. Like at 1 year, they're probably going to be about 3 days. They'll average about 3 pounds a day. If you were in 4-H and you grew up in California, you would know that. So I'm probably the only person that knows. But yeah, if you're increasing your weight by 3 pounds every day in a year, you're going to get a lot stronger.
Right.
And that was actually my first lesson in strength and conditioning. This old guy at the church that we went to when I was growing up, that's how he told me how to get strong. He's like, you just go down, pick up one of your dad's calves, pick them up, put them on this side of the fence, jump over, put them on the other side of the fence. Do that every day. You'll get super strong.
It wasn't wrong.
Yeah, I think he's right. I never did it. But I wish I would have. But what he said was, you'll be amazed at how big that calf will get before you can't put him on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have done it. But I did not. But that's just one of those daily things again.
Yeah.
So where do you want to take Zoarc? What do you want to see?
So kind of like the vision for the future. So really the focus is to create kind of a brand that's more than just a brand, but it's a lifestyle and has more of a meaning to it.
Yeah.
And to use that as a platform to have, say it's an expert bodybuilder, or an expert in weightlifting, or an expert in nutrition, or this or that, having them be able to, while promoting the platform as a whole, spread those messages to the younger generation, or to people who are looking out for that information, and to be able to provide that to people.
You can become that guy, right? No, that's cool. I mean, that's kind of like, that's what we want to create at Greg Gym too, is like I want to get other people in here who are kind of on board, or not kind of, who are on board with that same message.
Yeah.
And really push that out. Because we were talking about this before we came on here. There's a drastic lack of education in this industry. Not necessarily that they don't have degrees and stuff like that. It's just like the
bro science.
The bro science is abysmal for one, and a lot of people think like, oh, I have my college degree, and I know a lot about exercise. I've been exercising for a long time. And they still teach things like your knees should not go in front of your toes while squatting, or or that you should always go ass to grass, or the partial reps are bad. There's all kinds of like stuff out there that they just don't have the education that they've built out, and they're getting people hurt in the process, and it's really pretty sad.
Right. Yeah. A lot of the education's outdated, and one thing that you notice is with kind of the cognitive desires with people to improve their mind. people who have studied this see that there's a huge drop off after graduation.
Yeah.
People just stop studying, but they have so much more to know, to learn, and what they have learned in the past might actually be outdated. You never know. Maybe
everything's outdated.
Everything's outdated.
Yeah.
The things that we learned yesterday are improving today.
Yeah.
So people after graduation, and then they just end up stopping. They stop studying and improving. Then that's where we really see that detriment.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's the best information that we have right now, but it's still drastically awful. Like we know basically all the information that we know about cardiovascular stuff. We know it's wrong, but we got to teach them something.
Yeah.
But we know it's wrong.
Yeah. It's crazy. There's so much to know, and I think that through research we realize that the only thing that we know is that we don't know.
Have you heard that one before?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Where'd you hear that?
Don't quote me on that. I don't know.
You don't know where
I heard it, but I remembered it, so that's
because I say that almost every one of these videos.
Do you?
I swear to God, yeah.
Shoot, maybe I heard it in a video from you then.
I figured that's what you were going to say. Like, I heard that from you, actually. I thought you were being on point on purpose.
Like, can we go back and edit that?
It was you. You were my inspiration. No, I mean, like, the only thing I know for absolute certain, and this, I don't remember when, the story behind it, but, like, I'm sure I was just sitting around and I was just contemplating life like I do on a regular basis, like, all the time. And I was sitting around and I was like, what do I really know for just absolute certain? Because I know that, like, I'm wrong all the fucking time. You know, like, I'm constantly being put in my own place. What's going on, man? Like any statement that I do make, I'll make it, and then 2 minutes later, or 2 weeks later, I'm like, well, I guess you don't fit underneath the umbrella of the people that I was talking about. You know, I'm constantly like finding out that I'm wrong about something, which is good. I mean, that's learning. But so I was like, you know what? The only thing I know for absolute certain is that I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, because what could change tomorrow?
Right. So that sparks that desire to continue to learn every single day.
Yeah. Being outrageously curious is a very it's a good quality. It's I think like it takes a ton of courage to be curious, but yeah. Is there any other words of wisdom or things you want to throw down, or are you guys gonna do a sale anytime soon?
So
or do you have a website? Do you have a website that people can go to?
Yep, it's www.zoarcfitness.com, ZOARC We're on Instagram at Zoarc Fitness. We're on everything all across, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, all at Zoarc Fitness. We are actually doing a sale right now leading up to the 4th of July. We've got USA shirts. So they say USA on the front, they say United on the back. They've got our Zoarc logo on them. So we're doing a sale with those right now leading up to the 4th.
Can you be here on the 1st on that Saturday?
We're
gonna have a party here. You should sell a few while you're.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Like a booth. Okay, so we're gonna so you guys just saw that's a business deal going down right there. Business. Connor's gonna be outside at the July 1st party that we're having out here. Come out. The July 1st party is gonna be cool. It's gonna be a re-resolution party. That's the halfway point of 2017.
Okay.
That's the exact 6-month mark. So we're re-resoluting.
I like it.
I think that's a made-up word, but anyway, so we're gonna take sidewalk chalk. We're gonna write down our goals out on the concrete and kind of make the statement to the world, like this is what we're here to do. Because you only have 6 months left. You know, whether the glass is half full or the glass is half empty, it doesn't really matter. You got 6 months left, and you got to make that happen in 2017. So, you want to be here on July 1st. When you're here, grab one of the USA shirts that Connor's going to be slinging outside. But we're right up on the time mark. Anything else you want to add?
Sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for being here. All right. Thanks, guys, for being here. Really appreciate it. If you comment down below, I'll respond to it later on. But please take the time to share this and like it while you're at it. But thanks, guys. See you. Let's see. Today's Thursday. See you tomorrow.